welcome. David Levin here, Raise Your Inner Game today. This is Tuesday, so we're talking about the mental game of sports and competition. Fridays are for the rest of our lives. This week, I want to talk about how to work on your mental game. And I mean work on it in a practical way, not just hearing new ideas, new perspectives, new things you should think, which is what 99% of the mental game advice you'll hear is. Like, for example, just today, I read a post on the mental game. The idea was stress is good, or at least a certain kind of stress is good because it makes you stronger. Just like stressing your muscles by lifting weights makes them come back stronger, your mental game is the same. That's a good idea. It's a helpful perspective, generally true, but it's not a technique. It's not something you can practice and put into action. And for real, almost nothing you hear in the mental training space is. And that's super weird to me because pretty much everything else in sports training is practical technique. And I'm right in the middle of that now with my pickleball game. I'm finally to the point in my game that I'm going to clinics and practice sessions rather than just playing. And it's been super disorienting because I realize I have never thought about actual technique before in my game. I, just think, get it back over the net, hit the ball to that guy instead of that gun. Drop it in the kitchen if you can. I don't think about how to drop it in the kitchen. I just think to do it. And even that is a fairly new progression. But of course, just thinking I want to do it means it doesn't work very well a lot of the time. But then when someone says, okay, here's how to drop it in the kitchen, extend your wrist, hold your paddle like this, it makes no sense to me. What are you talking about? I don't think like that while I'm playing. It's actually been a bit frustrating. I'm looking for help, but the answers are not what I think I need. But then it hit me. Oh, right. This is technique. These are the fundamentals for how to make those shots. If someone's bringing the heat and blasting a shot at me at the kitchen line, I need to open the face a little bit to keep my block shot from getting into the net. Now, in the moment, I'm not going to be thinking about the face angle of my paddle. I'm just responding to the shot. But the point is, I train myself in advance through repetition to hold the paddle that way in that situation so it happens automatically when I need it. I mean, that's obvious. That's what training is. And I'm actually laughing at myself because I talk about this all the time as an illustration, but I've never been in a position to actually do it myself. But I get it now. This is what it takes to learn a new skill, a new physical skill, and put it into action. And it's funny to realize that I am basically backwards from every other athlete. Everyone else learns how to do this with their physical game, but doesn't know how to do it with their mental game. I've only ever done it with my mental game. I'm just now learning how to do it with my physical. But back to our larger point, this only reinforces the importance for players of understanding that you can and you must learn to work on your mental game in the same practical way because it's the only way to make real, measurable improvements, just like any other skill, and especially to do it quickly. So here are the fundamentals of the mental game. First, you have to see for yourself how your inner game works. Not just hear about it, not kind of understand it, but see it in action. Experience the mechanism of it for yourself in real time. And there are specific exercises you can do to help you do that. Next, you have to learn the mental skills to control that mechanism. And again, there are specific things you can learn. We teach the 3 main skills in our Sports Academy training and many more in our Advanced Mental Game Mastery course. And then finally, once you have those fundamentals, you need to practice them. Do them over and over, starting in low pressure moments, working up. Over time, it becomes second nature, and you get strong enough and quick enough with it that your mental game is simply no longer a factor in your performance. It's never going to hold you back again. Can you imagine how great that would be? That's the dream of mental game training. It's absolutely achievable if you do it right, which means if you approach it in the same practical way, you train your physical skills. And by the way, we're talking about sports, but the same thing is true in the rest of our lives. We face the same kinds of pressures and mental game challenges. They have the same effect on our ability to be the kind of person we want to be. The mechanism is the same. Learning and practicing these fundamentals makes the same kind of improvements for us. And that's why we offer our material in various formats. Our Sports Academy training for athletes, executive coaching for leaders, and the Raise Your Inner Game book for creatives and everyone else. Check out raiseyourinnergame.com and davidlevin.com to learn more about those. But this is the big lesson in mental game training, or at least one of the big lessons. You have to approach it the same way you do your physical training. Break it down to the fundamentals and practice until it's second nature. All right, I hope that was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, keep up the good work, and I will see you next time.